Well, here we are again for the second day in a row at Hayes Gymnasium in Tigerville, South Carolina for this matchup between the North Greenville Crusaders and the Barton College Bulldogs. Alan Cahaley alongside Gray Sutherland, who will be doing play-by-play. And we are in a little bit of a delay. The clock showing 15 minutes before the game gets underway, so we were confused about what the schedule was because it originally said 5:30. Then it was changed to 5, and so it turns out 5:30 is correct. So, oh well, but North Greenville comes in with a 3-1 record, including their victory last night against Mount Olive, winning that game 3-1. And meanwhile, Barton comes in with a 2-2 overall record, but they are 0-2 in the Conference Carolinas. But their two opponents, North Greenville has played as well. Barton played Limestone as well as Pfeiffer. And they lost to Pfeiffer with the same score as North Greenville, 3-2. And then they lost to Limestone 3-0. And North Greenville did beat Limestone earlier this season, so there's some similar opponents. The other opponents for Barton, the non-conference ones, have been St. Francis. Barton won that 3-2. And their last game at Coker, and Barton won that one 3-0.
So I think today, we're still going to try and get a feel for what this North Greenville squad can do. 4 games into the season, they've got 3 wins. Of course, you'd like a 4-0, but for this squad, if you take the heartbreaking loss to Pfeiffer out of it, this has been a fantastic start to the season, considering last year when you started off against a preseason nationally ranked #1 team in Pepperdine. This season has got to be getting off to an even brighter and better start, considering there's still a lot of sophomores and freshmen on Coach Battenfield's squad. So sky's the limit right now, and they can only go up from here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that anyone that's watched this team agrees that North Greenville should be 4-0. I mean, even Pfeiffer's head coach said that North Greenville should have beat them. You know, and for those of you who might not have seen that match, it was set 5. North Greenville was winning 14-9 in a set that's played to 15. So all they needed to do was score 1 more point to win it. Pfeiffer continued to fight. North Greenville helped them out a little bit as well, and it ended up being tied at 14 apiece, and Pfeiffer ultimately won the set 19-17, which gave them that 3rd set for the win. So yeah, it was a heartbreaking loss, but still, I mean, this season has absolutely been a success thus far. North Greenville only won 10 games last year, which actually even that was considered a success considering it was their inaugural season.
And they still managed to make the playoff tournament.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, this has been just a fantastic start to the season. Mount Olive, even though Pfeiffer is usually considered the team to beat in the conference, Pfeiffer wasn't ranked. They currently have no votes to be in the top 15. Mount Olive had the most votes for any team not to be ranked in the top 15. So you could say that Mount Olive is the most talented team in the conference, and North Greenville took it to them last night.
They did, and Pfeiffer still undefeated, sitting atop the Conference Carolina standings at 4-0 in both overall and conference play. They're closely followed by Belmont Abbey, who's a game behind, sitting, actually no, technically, well, that's a little confusing. It must be the overall record for Belmont Abbey must be 5-0, and their conference record must be 3-0, but Belmont Abbey also up there undefeated in men's volleyball.
They've only lost 1 set all season.
So that's going to be a interesting matchup when Belmont Abbey comes to Tigerville to play. So Pfeiffer and Belmont Abbey are the 2 undefeated teams in the Conference Carolinas. Then you've got North Greenville sitting 3rd with that 3-1 record, 2-1. They're actually tied with Mount Olive. And then followed behind them is Emmanuel King, Limestone, Erskine, Barton, and Lees McCray to round out the conference standings. Lees McCray, tough start to the season for them, 0-4. So if you go by the conference standings, sitting at third, 4 games through the season, pretty good start, and we'll have to see if North Greenville can keep that up. As Barton bounces a shot off the rafters during their warm-ups, that's always the X factor, the wild card, if you will, here at Hayes. We saw it come into play a lot last night. Of course, it doesn't play favorites, even though it's on North Greenville's home court. It can haunt North Greenville just as well as whoever is their opponent. So keep an eye on the ceiling tonight. It's certainly going to be player 3 tonight.
Yeah, but you can tell. I mean, if you watch North Greenville play here at Hayes Gymnasium, it's pretty apparent that this has become a true home court advantage for North Greenville, because you see the teams that they play come in, and anytime the ball bounces off that ceiling, more times than not, it ends up falling for a point for the Crusaders. When it goes off the ceiling for the Crusaders, they're ready for it. They know where it's going to go. They know to adjust to it, to be ready for it, and they've done a fantastic job of being able to react to the ball coming off the rafters, the ceiling, the lights. I mean, there's just so many different obstacles up there. We saw one ball that, shoot, it was hanging up there for a good 3 seconds before it finally came back down. We thought it was going to get stuck and they were going to have to replay the point.
Yeah, it almost got stuck on the light fixture.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very tough for opponents, and it's going to be interesting tonight to see if it comes into play again. I think it will.
Let's take a look at the North Greenville roster real quick. One player that stands out in particular is the graduate transfer. And if you look at the roster, along the one of 2, I would say seniors, even though he's already graduated. John Childs and Jacob Jenkins, the only 2 members of this team that have an upperclassman level title. So, and John Childs has had a fantastic couple of past games against Pfeiffer and Mount Olive to transfer out of Clemson. And taking a look at his numbers, Childs has, I believe he started all but 1 game, and he's averaging 3 kills even per set for Childs, and he is putting up some pretty good numbers when he has to. Of course, he has help from Aaron Campbell, one of the phenom freshmen that we get to see, as well as Grayson Lawrence, who got to see the court last night against Mount Olive and made it count when he got to serve, trimming the net 3 out of 4 times and dropping it in for an ace. So if we see Grayson Lawrence tonight, we'll definitely be sure to mention that again and see if he can keep up his hot streak. On the defensive side of things, I can't look past the libero and the setter for North Greenville. We got Dustin King and Alexander Shinzing. They always put up a lot of digs and saves for North Greenville on the defensive side of things.
And I'll tell you what, a number that I'm looking at that kind of really shocked me, Matthew McManaway, who's 3rd on the team in kills with 38, but his attack percentage, the number of attacks that result in points, 49.2%. So almost half of his attacks result in points for the Crusaders. That's huge.
Yeah, when you've got a number that says half the time you're going to get a point out of it, that's pretty good odds to weigh for Matthew McManaway there.
Yeah, and it's easy to find out why that is, because when the ball is properly set up for him, I mean, he's 6'7", so he has that huge height advantage. He doesn't have to jump high, and when he gets a hand on that ball, it's driven straight into the floor. I mean, there's just no time to react for the opposing team.
And Caleb Arliss is another guy who's come on strong, the sophomore from Windsor, Connecticut. Arliss has had a great sophomore season to kick off the 2016 season. Looking at just over 2 kills per set for Arliss. He put up some good numbers last night. Even though Childs leads the way, and he's closely followed by Luuga Vailu'u, the Hawaiian. Great to see him picking right back up where he left off in 2015 and continuing his strong campaign. Then over for the Barton Bulldogs, who have made the trip down from Wilson, North Carolina. Their leading score with 3.25 kills per set is number 17, Vasilis Mandeleris from Greece, is putting up some good numbers for the Bulldogs. He has started in all 4 matches for the Bulldogs and played in all 16 sets, and we have 4 Bulldogs that have played in all their matches and all their sets. Mandeleris, Pierre Tangte, Nick Leary, and then taking a look down the list, it is Kekaulike Alamenda, another Hawaiian.
We're going to have some trouble with these names today, but that's okay.
So those are the 4 Bulldogs that have played in every set for Barton. So we'll look to see them most likely be the choices to start for head coach Jeff Lennox, and we'll wait and see who he does elect to put in his starting lineup. Jeff Lennox, we mentioned his record with Barton so far this year, 2-2, 0-2 in the conference. So Barton looking for their first conference win here in Tigerville. Lennox is assisted by Ladislav Lelkis. Apologies on that one too. Of course, North Greenville, Dr. Fred Battenfield in his second season with this team, building it up. And he is assisted by Amber Shenzing. We'll now send it courtside for the invocation and playing of our national anthem here from Hayes Gymnasium.
Now let's introduce the starting lineup tonight for the North Greenville Crusaders. At middle blocker, number 15, Matt McNeil. At center, number 5, Alexander Simpson.
starting five for Barton are Nick Leary, Charles Hyde, Pierre Tangte, Alexka Brokovich, and Pierre Tangte. The starters for North Greenville, McManaway gets a start, along with Vailulu, Connor Ryan getting the start tonight, and Alexander Shinzing, always reliable setter. Caleb Arliss also out there, and John Childs on the floor first for North Greenville. So Ryan, Arliss, McManaway, Vailulu, Childs, and Shinzing. Brokovich, Tangte, and Federico Pagliara, along with Hyde and Leary.
And just like yesterday, where Mount Olive and North Greenville were playing each other in basketball as they were playing men's volleyball here, there's also another sort of, that's also going on right now between North Greenville and Barton. Barton women's basketball beat North Greenville 75-60, and in the men's game, it's actually currently tied at 51 apiece with 11:33 remaining in the second half.
So Barton will get us started. Brokovich ready to serve to get it underway. Here comes the serve. Arliss has to dive down to get it. Shinzing sets. Childs looks to get it started quick, and he will. Proving why he is the leading scorer for North Greenville. Cashes in the first point. It's 1-0. Now here comes Shinzing. He'll get the first serve for North Greenville. Barton looks to respond from the far side. Blocked, but out of bounds from Ryan. And Tangte gets the first point for the Bulldogs. Now we'll look to number 16, Hyde. Middle blocker from Melbourne, Australia. North Greenville looking to fire back. Vailulu. Good save there by Arliss. And Childs pops it over. Now here comes Barton. They'll just lob it back over. North Greenville with Shinzing setting. Here comes Ryan again. This one straight up off the roof from Mandelaris. And the roof gets its first point tonight.
First of many, I'm sure. That will not be the first time it comes into play.
North Greenville goes up 2-1 with some assistance from the gym. And Child serves it for North Greenville. That one trips the net. Barton's able to get it though. And here comes number 1, Brokovich. 6'3" outside hitter, freshman from Belgrade, Serbia, ties it at 2. Pagliara serves for Barton. Here comes North Greenville. Vailulu, nobody home in the middle for Barton. Vailulu spots it, and it's 3-2 NGU. Now Vailulu goes to serve. Here it comes. Lobs it in. The set to far side and inbounds. That was Mandelaris again. Tangte back to serve for the Bulldogs. Sends this one in. Arliss fires it, and this one fired right back by Brokovich. Arliss tried to pull it in, but it sailed too far right to Brokovich, who gets Barton the lead at 4-3. Arliss gets that one to Shinzing. He'll set it. McManaway's blocked by Mandelaris and Leary.
This is the way that Barton wants to start. Still looking for their first conference victory, and nice job so far.
Tay, third straight serve for him. Childs gets this one. Shinsing sets, and far side they look to Ryan. That one dug up by Pagliara. And Childs takes a shot as he was sent packing by Leary for the Bulldogs. Short serve by Tay makes it over. Diving save by Childs, and Arliss pops it over. The set from Pagliara, near side, inbounds off the block from Mandelaris, and Mandelaris off to a hot start. Barton going on a 4-0 run since tying it at 3. The serve, Arliss. Shinsing, they go back to Arliss, gets blocked, but King again with a great save, and Childs trims the net, gets it to drop, and North Greenville catches a break. And now they have to start cutting away at the Barton lead. Now here's Ryan to serve. First serve for North Greenville in a little bit. And this block will go out of bounds as Brockovich, some firepower in that freshman's arm, and Barton goes back up 4.
Yep. Brockovich doesn't come in with a ton of kills, but he's having a nice game so far. I believe he has at least 3 now. Live stats aren't currently working as of yet, but yeah, he's having a nice start to this match.
Leary serves for the Bulldogs, high and out of bounds. Have our first, that's the first service error. That might have been the latest service error since the start of the game we've had. 8-5, Barton up 3. North Greenville with the serve, and Caleb Arliss. Arliss sends it in, Brockovich, Pagliara right in the middle, blocked back. Tay is stuffed by McManaway, and Childs as well, combined for that block. Arliss goes back to serve again with North Greenville being down 2. Serve fired in. Near side, and great job by Mandelaris. Nobody home for North Greenville. Back beyond the 10-foot line. Mandelaris to serve. Fires this one out of bounds on the scores table side of the gym here at Hayes, and it's 9-7 North Greenville. McManaway now goes back to serve. Fires this one short, but handled by Barton. Here comes right inbounds from Charles Hyde, able to tiptoe that far sideline, and it's 10-7 Bulldogs. Elska Brockovich back to serve. Fires this one into the net. Another service error will cost Barton the serve and gets North Greenville back within 2. Now can they try and chip away at it some more and get a tie? Shinsing serves. Pagliara with the quick flip, and King, great one-handed dig. Here comes Ryan. We have a whistle, and it looks like a point to NGU. Foul goes against Barton, and it's 10-9. Off the serve, here come the Bulldogs, and a little miscommunication up front almost cost them. They're able to get it over though, but Connor Ryan does make them pay, and we're tied at 10. Now Shinsing serves for North Greenville. Here's Pagliara up front, sets it, and not good. Not the contact he wanted from Charles Hyde, I'm sure. That Costs Barton the lead. North Greenville takes it back at 11-10. Shinzing goes back to serve again. Here it comes, and it's out of bounds. Sailed wide right. It'll be 11 all. On the serve is Hyde for the Bulldogs. Here comes North Greenville. Vilou, not in bounds though. And it's 12-11. Barton goes back out in front. Hyde again. King, here's Shinzing. Far side for Childs, across the court. In bounds, yes.
Barton not happy with that call.
Got Federico Pagliara talking to the official on the near side, and head coach Lennox over on the far side talking to the one in front of the scores table, and it looks like they're going to keep this one as called. And now Tang Tay talking to the official. North Greenville's going to take this opportunity to huddle up and try and get a strategy going to reclaim the lead. We're tied at 12.
Quick update, good basketball game going on. North Greenville leading Barton 63-62, 6:39 remaining in the second half.
So it stands as called. Child serves it in, and we're back underway. And Barton wasting no time. Nick Leary gets the Bulldogs back out in front.
Yeah, Barton frustrated after that last point was given to the Crusaders, so they did something about it there.
Pagliara goes to serve. Arliss to Shinzing, far side for Vilou, blocked back in bounds, and Tang Tay, one of those frustrated players as well for Barton. It's 14-12 in favor of Barton. Serve finds Childs. Here Shinzing setting. Near side looks to go to Arliss. Up off the block, and it's going to drop. And North Greenville gets that point. They're back within one. And now the Uga Vilou back to serve. Floats this one, and it drops on the back line. Great serve there for an ace to Vilou. Grayson Lawrence happy about that serve, and we're tied at 14. Vilou trying to make it back to back. Won't be so. Barton will have a chance to return it. Great dig there by Vilou on defense. Shinzing just pops it over. Gives the Bulldogs a chance. Here comes Leary. Great save there by McManaway. Arliss keeps it in, and Child sends it over. Not in bounds though. Aiming for the backcourt line on the near side, didn't quite get it, and now Tang Tay serves for Barton, trims the net. Arliss, good positioning to get that one. Here's Ryan, he's blocked by Leary. And Brockovich, yeah, double block from Brockovich and Leary.
Tell you what though, last night we saw North Greenville get a ton of points off of trimming the net on the serve. But when it's done to them, they do such a great job of adjusting. That's something that's been noticeable all season long.
Here's McManaway, spins it off the right side of his hand and out of bounds. And it's 17-14, Barton up front by 3. And timeout, North Greenville. Coach Battenfield burns his first timeout. You're allowed 2 per set, and normally the way coaches like to do it is they try and stop the momentum of the other team, and Coach Benfield looking to try and do that to Barton here in this case.
Yeah, I mean this is the Barton, this is the start that Barton was looking for, obviously. But yeah, they're come in 0-2 in the conference, looking for their first conference win, and North Greenville, who's currently ranked 3rd in the conference after coming off of a win off of Mount Olive last night, Barton looking to upset them, and so far they're doing a nice job.
And for North Greenville, they look to keep their hot streak on the season going and try and contend for a conference title in only their second season of complete competition. We'll come out of the timeout and see if North Greenville can steal any of the momentum away from Barton. Got a little bit of ground to make up. They're down 3. And for the moment, it's up to King, Childs, Arliss, Shinzing, and McManaway. Tang Tay to serve for the Bulldogs. He'll send this one in. Arliss up into the rafters, comes down clean. Back to Arliss here on the near side, tries this short-handed over, nothing doing. Now Ryan over on the far side, and Barton's gonna send this one almost into the bleachers as Brockovich couldn't bring it down.
And we do have live stats working now. So far for the Crusaders, John Childs leads in kills with 3. For Barton, Brockovich leads with 4.
Barton taking up another issue with that last point. Tang Tay again over here talking to the near side official.
North Greenville with 17 total attacks, Barton with 16. Pagliara for Barton with 9 assists. Shinzing for North Greenville with 6.
Barton still up 2. Ryan with the serve for North Greenville. Here's the set by Pagliara. Far side, Brockovich. Blocked out of bounds by Shinzing. And that'll be, the serve will go back to the Bulldogs, and that's a point for them as well. So here's Leary to serve. To Arliss, here's Shinzing setting. Looks to go back to Arliss, and it's going to drop in the corner. Back within 2, it's 18-16. Arliss now to serve for North Greenville. Here comes his serve. Pagliara sets, here comes Brockovich. Another freshman that's got some power. That is Brockovich for Barton. Bulldogs to it 6 away from trying to close out this first set. Mendeleris serves for the Bulldogs. Arliss gets it, here comes McManaway. He responds to Brockovich, gets North Greenville back within 2.
There's that hard spike that we were talking about earlier. When it comes to McManaway, if the ball is set up for him near the net, there's just no chance to react to it.
And here comes one of the players that I wanted to see again for North Greenville, number 9, Grayson Lawrence. Looks like he's getting ready to be subbed in.
He'll come in for McManaway.
Lawrence last night had 4 serves, 3 of which managed to tiptoe the net in such bizarre fashion, including one in series he went back-to-back. And he even won a set on one of those. So here comes Lawrence on the serve for the first time today. Makes it over the net. Brockovich has to get it. Now near side, and past Lawrence goes Mendeleris on the kill, 2017.
He's going to come right back out. McManaway comes right back in. No, excuse me. So
King came back in.
That's right.
So it's Brockovich on the serve for the Bulldogs. Fires this one in, and Arliss takes a funny hop off his hands. And Barton goes up 4, and second timeout called by Coach Battenfield. So last chance for North Greenville to try and stem the tide. With the Barton lead 21-17. We'll step away for a short break here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Barton trying to close out the first set. They have the lead, 21-17, and the serve with Brockovich. Look, they keep the Bulldogs rolling. They have come out on a quick start. And short serve handled by Child. Shinzing sets by Lu'u. This one pops straight up. And great save by King again. Now here's by Lu'u. That one saved by number 5. That's Alamenda for Barton. Another great save responding by North Greenville. And John Childs takes the point. So it looks like the timeout works for the moment. Shinzing serves for North Greenville. Here comes a set by Pagliara. Tang Tay blocked by Lu'u and Ryan. Get the better of Tang Tay on that attempted kill. 21-19, North Greenville rattles off a quick 2. Here's Shinzing again. Floats this one in. Tang Tay, Pagliara, back to Tang Tay. Childs. Side hopped it, and whistles go against North Greenville. It's a point to Barton. They go back up 3. Hyde back to serve for Barton. We've got Aaron Campbell coming on for Connor Ryan for NGU late in the first set. And that was a block error on that last point called against Ryan. Childs to Shinzing. Here's Vailu'u up off the block. And Brockovich makes the last effort save. Now North Greenville will look to respond. Here is Childs. Tiptoes it over and gets it to drop. Make it 22-20. Now Childs fires this one in. Brockovich gets it. And now here he comes right back again. And Brockovich gets the Bulldogs 2 away from the first set win. Ryan comes back in. So Campbell gets a couple of series, and Ryan checks right back in. Pagliara to serve to Childs. Here's Shinzing, and Vailu'u short hands it over, but this one bounces off the rafters, and Leary was not ready for it. So the ceiling bails out North Greenville. They've got to get a few more. Barton could have set point if they take this next one. Set at 23-21, and now number 10, Christopher Boyd, comes in. He will go to serve. Short hands it. Brockovich has to come up to get it. Arliss tried to shorthand it over, and after it bounces around a couple of Barton defenders, North Greenville takes the point. Timeout, Bulldogs. So North Greenville out of timeouts. Looked like they stemmed from some momentum there, and now Barton will look to try and turn the tables. 23-22. We'll step away for another short break with Barton up only by 1 now here on the North Greenville Sports Network. North Greenville trying to kickstart a comeback, and that will unfortunately come to an end as Moy arcs a serve high and out of bounds. And now Barton sits at set point in the first set. Pierre Tangte ready to serve for the Bulldogs. Sends this one in. Childs, Shinzing, McManaway up past the block. And now Brockovich over on the far side sends it over. North Greenville bouncing it around, and Arliss pops it over. Now here comes the Bulldogs, and untouched is Mandelaris. His shot will end the first set and close things out for Barton. They will go up 1-0 at 25-22.
Well, this is actually a normal thing for the Crusaders. They've only won one set all season long, yet they're 3-1. So that's something that's encouraging. North Greenville has not lost a set 2 this season. So we'll see if Barton can do something about that, or if that streak will continue in just a little bit.
So now North Greenville will have some ground to make up. They're down to Barton 1 set. We'll head to the second set to see if North Greenville can indeed remain undefeated in the second set of men's volleyball action here from Hayes Gymnasium. We'll step away for another short break. North Greenville will look to climb out of the hole here on the North Greenville Sports Network. North Greenville down a set early to Barton. We head to the second set. And the Crusaders will look to even up the score. Checking the numbers again. North Greenville has not lost a set. A second set the entire season so far through 4 games. And they get off to a quick start. Shinzing gets a start off in the second set and serves up an ace. He serves it again. Barton's ready for this one. Here come the Bulldogs. Tangte blocked but out of bounds by Ryan. Evened up at 2. Here goes Hyde back to serve. Hyde sends this one in. Childs will set. Shinzing sets it, and Vailu'u spins it off the side of his hand and doesn't get the drop in bounds.
We have a basketball update. Miguel Cartagena made a game-winning jump shot to win 77-75 over Barton.
Leary, that's Hyde serves for Barton, and Childs able to get it over. Now here comes Barton again. Childs gets the deflection off the block. Slight tap over by Leary. Secures the point for Barton. Bulldogs go up 3-1. Hyde to serve again. Served by Hyde to King. Here's Shinzing on the set. Near side, Childs blocked by Tang Tay and Leary. And it's 4-1. Third straight serve for Hyde. North Greenville needs a point. Vailu'u gets blocked, but it sails out of bounds. Almost 2/3 of the way across the court, and North Greenville gets that point they were looking for, but it's 4-2. Barton's still up. Here's Childs again. Set by Pagliara, and at the net, North Greenville takes it. Ryan gets the block as Barton gets called for a double hit, actually. Now it's 4-3. Here's Childs on the serve. This one high and out.
Seems like lately, every now and then, when the serve is missed like that one, it misses by a ton, goes way over the court. There was that one yesterday that Caleb said if there was another court lined up right there, it would have gone to the other side of it.
And it very well may have. North Greenville over on the far side. Arla sends it over. And now here come the Bulldogs. Blocked, but out of bounds. And Delaris gets that one. Federico Pagliara serves it in, out of bounds though. It's 6-4.
Got a passionate fan in here tonight.
Boy, I hear him too. Here's Vailu'u on the serve for North Greenville. The Bulldogs blocked at the net, but they keep it alive.
Kicked.
Now Arliss looks to come back, gets it in. Caleb Arliss gets, no, he didn't get the drop. It's a point to Barton. And now North Greenville, let's see if they try to argue it. Looks like the call's gonna stand. Barton's had a couple of calls go against them that they fought against and lost, and now North Greenville gets one against them. And now here comes McManaway. Top spin, didn't fool Tang Tay, but the rafter does. As it dropped behind Leary, who was expecting it to get set in front of him. And North Greenville gets bailed out by the roof again. It's 7-5. Barton's still up 2.
Yeah, that's the third point caused by the ceiling, and all three of them have gone to the Crusaders.
And Leary wastes no time redeeming himself with that shot. He is the tallest player by a couple of inches on the Barton roster, 6'8", and only a freshman from Christchurch, New Zealand. Leary serves, King to Shinzing. McManaway gets blocked, but King's ready there to back him up. Shinzing sets it again. Arliss from the far side. Brockovich hangs on to that one. And now here comes Mandelaris, and North Greenville's able to play it off the roof, and King pops it straight up, but out of bounds. Ready for the rafter shot, but not quite. 9-5. Barton up 4. Served by Leary, finds Childs. Here's Shinzing, and he'll go to Ryan. Up off the block, and Barton can't hang on to it. A little too tall for the 6'6" Tang Tay. Goes off his fingertips, and North Greenville cuts the lead down to 3. Arliss back to serve. And now here comes Pagliaro on the set. Near side, that's Brockovich. And some things never change, and that is Brockovich for Barton. He puts the Bulldogs up 4. And Delaris back to serve. King hangs on to it. Shinzing, Manaway blocks right back up off Manaway, and it trickles back over the net. Now the Bulldogs look to respond. Arliss, great dig, and now Childs puts the exclamation point on it. Still down 3 though. North Greenville at 10-7, but they have to serve. Here comes McManaway. Sends it in, handled by Tang Tay. Pagliaro sets, by Lulu, gets a block at the net. Can he do it again? Unfortunately, he can as Pagliaro slings it past him, and it's 11-7. Again for Barton, up 4. And Brockovich ready to serve. Sends it in, Childs, Shinzing sets it, goes back to Childs up off the block. Tang Tay ready in the backcourt for it. And Mandelaris gets it to bounce off the block out of bounds. And timeout North Greenville as Barton gets their 12th point of the second set. They'll go up 5, 12-7. Step away for another short break here as North Greenville Coach Benfield look to try and settle things down. Down 5 here on the North Greenville Sports Network. As we come back from North Greenville taking their first time out. They're down to 1 for the rest of the second set. Barton with both of theirs left. Here's Brockovich on the serve. Finds Arliss. Shinzing sets by Lu'u. Shorthands it over. And now Barton tries to shorthand it with Pagliaro, but North Greenville able to respond. Here comes Ryan. Tang Tay. Now Pagliaro again. And Tang Tay gets stuck, but the Bulldogs try again. Ryan hangs on to that one. Here comes the far side to Childs. And he is blocked. Pagliaro and O'Leary. Barton trying to run away with it in the second set. Here comes Brockovich. Childs, Shinzing, back to Childs, up, bounces off the block. A whistle. And a point to North Greenville. Shenzing on the serve. Pagliara sets it for the Bulldogs. Tang Tay past a diving Dustin King. Gets Barton the serve back and right back into the same rhythm they've pretty much been in since the start.
Yeah, Barton just seems to have an answer for everything. I mean, this, so far it just seems like it's their night. But, not too late for the Crusaders to turn it around. But, boy, Barton is looking very solid here tonight.
Brandon Lee, number 13, serves after being subbed in, and Vailu'u gets the point for North Greenville. That's a much-needed point. Barton's last game out, they played Coker College over in Hartsville, South Carolina, where they did sweep the Cobras 3 sets.
Yeah, and that was over 10 days ago, so they've had plenty of rest. North Greenville, it had been 10 days since they played last night against Mount Olive, so both teams are well rested.
Now Pagliara tries to quick flip it over. Dustin King wary of it and responds back. Now the Bulldogs can't get it past John Childs. Here comes Arliss on the near side. And he is blocked by Tangke and Leary. Leary able to get a few nice blocks in here in the second set. Puts the Bulldogs up 15-9. Serve from Pagliara finds Arliss. Shenzing sets it to Vailu'u. Gets it to bounce off Brockovich and almost makes it into the garbage can, but not quite. Regardless, it's 15-10. North Greenville gets the point. Now can they try to start a rally? Vailu'u, nice high spin. Back over the net, McManaway can't get it past the Barton defense, and now here comes Mandelaris. A Child response to that shot. Ryan can't get it, McManaway does. Great job there by the libero for Barton. Alameda just can't quite make the third save, and it's 15-11. Here comes Vailu. Lots of height on that one as it sails out of bounds, and another service error comes back against North Greenville.
Coach Battenfield had to signal his last touch by a Barton player. Sarcastically, there was no way anybody was getting up there to get that one.
I don't think that would have even been possible for Leary. The serve by Tang Tay is short and into the net, so Barton repays the kindness and gives it back to North Greenville. The Crusaders back within 4, 16-12. And now Christopher Moy comes in to try and serve this one in and try and get North Greenville back into it. Moy floats it in. Set by Pagliara. Leary blocked at the net by McManaway. And that was a 6-8 versus 6-7, and McManaway takes that battle. Here's Moy on the serve again, floats this one in. Alameda, Pagliara, and Leary gets it to bounce off a couple of NGU defenders, and Barton takes the point, 17-13. We'll go back to Leary to serve. Here it comes. Giles handles it. Shenzing sets for McManaway. And Brockovich, 6-3 versus 6-7. Brockovich wins that one. And 18-13, Barton up 5. North Greenville burns their second time out as the Crusaders unable to respond to Barton. They're down 5. We'll step away for another short break. North Greenville running out of time in the second set here on the North Greenville Sports Network.
talking to each other during the break. We've decided that we're gonna try a bench cam for the Barton side. They have been very animated. North Greenville just chooses to keep their sideline calm. They've done that in the 2 seasons of volleyball that they've had, but we'll talk more about it after the second set.
Here comes the serve by Leary, short and into the net. 18-14 after the service error. Caleb Arliss goes back to send it in. Arliss short into the net.
That's what North Greenville can't afford right now.
Barton closing in on 20 points. They only need 6 more right now. It's 19-14. And Mandelaris is on the serve. Sends it in. Childs. Great job by Shinsing to go down and keep that one in play. And now here comes Brockovich. He's definitely got the heavy hand for Barton.
Yeah, he's having a huge night.
For the Bulldogs. Here comes Mandelaris. Trims the net though. Childs gets to it. Shinsing sets. McManaway. Now the Bulldogs turn. Here's Brockovich. And North Greenville blocked him, but they couldn't get it back as Ryan had it bounce off his right hand. And Barton goes up 7.
Yeah, Brockovich came in with just 17 kills in 13 sets. So that's 1.31 kills per set, but he has definitely exceeded that number tonight, so far at least.
Shoot timeout for Connor Ryan.
And another stat for Barton. Coming in, they averaged just 1.47 blocks per set, but I guarantee you they've had way more than that tonight.
That serve gets away from Mandelaris out of bounds. And yeah, well, just under 1.5 blocks per set. Barton has to be well over that now.
I think they've had at least 3 or 4 in this set alone. Unfortunately, the live stats are still stuck in set 1, so we don't have the exact number right now, but hopefully we can get that before too long.
And they have definitely, in this game at least, improved upon that .204 hitting percentage. North Greenville needs a lot of points in a hurry. Here come the Bulldogs. Arliss in the backcourt, making a couple of nice saves, and Childs sails this one almost out of the gym. And a point for North Greenville, 21-16. So Childs, a consistent bright spot for North Greenville. The Crusaders down 5 though. Here is Lawrence on the serve, sails this one in. The set by Pagliara, and from the middle of the net is Charles Hyde getting the point. Three away for the Bulldogs, 22-16. Here's Brockovich on the serve. Inbound.
They're trying to show that bench cam. I'm not sure what that reference was. Just had 2, maybe looked like 2 of them were planking. I don't know.
Here's Brockovich. Nice pop on that one. North Greenville tries to respond. Here's Childs. And Barton will get a return shot with Tang Tay. Off the block, up off the roof, back onto the Barton side, and a whistle and a point to the Bulldogs. Set point for Barton at 24-16. They have cruised in the second set.
Yeah, looks like that streak of North Greenville winning all of their set number 2s is going to come to an end tonight.
Brockovich again. Arliss gets that one. It goes back over the net and out of bounds, and that will be the case. And Barton rows the celebratory canoe to celebrate their second set.
But I'll tell you what, you see a lot of animated benches. It's been an issue in college basketball recently with
I think it was a school up in Wisconsin.
Is it Dartmouth?
Oh yeah, Dartmouth. Oh, it's Monmouth.
Monmouth, yeah. And it caused some controversy, but the coaches said, hey, it's not the players that are currently in the game. It's just the ones on the bench. They're having fun.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I'll admit, before North Greenville had a men's volleyball team, I didn't know much about men's volleyball at all. So, but apparently based on all the teams that we've seen come into Hayes and, have those antics, it's obviously a big part of the sport. And so, I don't think it's an issue. Dr. Battenfield, he's never said anything about it. North Greenville just chooses to have a calm bench, and that's fine. Different teams get motivated in different ways, but yeah, Barton has definitely been one of the more creative ones. As we mentioned, saw the what was one of them? Saw a Hunger Games reference earlier, and the rowing.
They revived someone who apparently went into cardiac arrest.
That's right. That's
with
the one I was.
Defibrillator. Oh my goodness! I'm not even going to try it.
Defibrillator.
Yes, that one.
But yeah, you see it in baseball too. South Carolina. Their national championship years, they made their own little sniper rifle made out of paper cups. They got the rowing going. When their batters were up. So, it's just a common thing about sports lately. Just a lot of animated benches, and it's just a part of it. It's entertaining for us.
Yeah. Get to look over after a point and just can't wait to see what they're going to do next.
Yep. But anyway, going back to basketball, if you missed the announcement earlier, Miguel Cartagena had a last-second game-winning shot, and North Greenville ended up winning that game 77-75. North Greenville now 7-11 for the year, 4-7 in the conference. Barton now 14-6 overall, 9-3 in the conference, and this is for men's basketball. So North Greenville came off that win against Bob Jones, where they scored, I believe it was 111 points. So it's taken a while for them to get going, but hey, you never know.
And they needed that conference win. We're almost at the end of January. We have one more full month of basketball competition, and then we'll be into March. And we'll only have a couple of more weeks of regular season action. Then we'll have conference tournaments, and then we'll have the national tournaments.
And speaking of next month, that's when everything's going on. We've already got basketball, men's volleyball, but you add baseball, softball, men's and women's lacrosse. It's going to be a busy month. We'll have a broadcast every Wednesday and every Saturday of February. So it's going to be busy.
Brockovich will start us off here in the third set. Barton trying to go back-to-back on sweeping opponents, and he trims the net, but Childs ready for it now by Lou, underarms it, but Barton's ready for that. And now Tang Tay has his shot partially blocked, and Childs tries to respond, but it bounces back across the net off the Barton block. And now Tang Tay tries to get it again. Ryan keeps it in play for North Greenville. Bailu can't get it to go a second time. Shinzing sets it for Childs, up off the block. And that's a point for North Greenville after quite a rally to start us off in the third set.
And we do have updated stats. Barton with 8 blocks tonight in just 2 sets. That is impressive.
And Shinzing, service error into the net. Gives the serve back to Barton, and we're tied at 1.
And here's a huge stat. Barton's attack percentage, 48.1. North Greenville, 16.7. And that's due to the excellent defense of Barton. Those blocks have been really effective.
Pagliara played that one about as perfectly as you can off the roof. Connor Ryan can't get it past Brakovich. Now here comes Tang Tay right into Dustin King. And Shinzing just unable to play it off the roof and not connect up with Vailu'u.
That's a rare thing where the ceiling here in Hayes costs North Greenville a point. It's usually a huge advantage for them because they know when to adjust, where to go, but that time couldn't quite adjust in time.
The serve by Hyde for the Bulldogs. Childs unable to get it in bounds.
And they're going to replay it.
I saw the official render the signal, and I was waiting to see if we were going to see it. That was a judgment impossible.
Huh.
That is the signal in the NCAA rulebook. So we replay it. Hyde on the serve. Shinzing sets. Near side for Ryan. That one ready for by Hyde. Pagliara flicks it over, but North Greenville's ready for it. Ryan again. And again, Hyde responds to him. And now here comes Mandelaris bouncing it off King for a point.
Ray, you almost got as excited over that call as you do for yellow cards.
And we haven't seen one yet this season, I believe.
Yeah, it does happen in men's volleyball. We saw it once or twice last season. But from what we figured out, it means pretty much nothing.
North Greenville responds to that one. Vailu'u gets it in.
Sort of a warning.
It is.
A warning without the officials having to actually say anything. So
it's kind of similar to soccer in a way, because one yellow card means a warning and two means you're out. John Childs with the ace.
And oddly enough, it was Coach Battenfield that ended up with the yellow card, but I don't think we'll ever have to worry about him getting thrown out of a game. He's a very calm guy.
I think you're right. Childs gets that one off the block. Here comes Vailu'u, gets the point. Here comes North Greenville. They're back. They finally have a lead again at 4-3. Childs serves it, and an ace. Right in front of Brakovich. And could the sleeping giant finally be waking up?
They've got a lot of work to do, a long way to go, but got to start somewhere.
And that's a point to Barton. They finally get back on the right track with Mandelaris bouncing it off the block of North Greenville at the net. It's Pagliara to serve. To Childs, Shinzing, Vailu'u, blocked up at the net, and Barton unable to save it. And it's 6-4 NGU.
Let's go, Jay. Come on.
Here's Vailu'u on the serve. Finds Alaminda, and Leary wastes no time in getting that one. Barton back within one. Pierre Tangte to serve for the Bulldogs, short end of the net. North Greenville with the serve back. Connor Ryan sends it in and returns the favor to the Bulldogs. So they trade points on the service there at 7-6. Here's Leary on the error again. So they continue to swap it back and forth on service errors. Now Caleb Arliss goes back for the serve. Floats this one in, Tang Tay, Pagliaro to set, far side Brockovich. Gets a point for Barton as the block goes out of bounds off of Jacob Jenkins and Alexander Shinzing. It's 8-7, Barton down 1 with the serve for Mandalaris. Arliss gets it, Shinzing sets, near side, here's up Childs, up off the block, a whistle, and a point to North Greenville. Jenkins serves for NGU and blocked at the net. Hyde gets stuffed by Vailu'u. 10-7, North Greenville goes up 3. Jenkins serves this one short and into the net. Service error gets Barton back within 2, and Brockovich will go back to serve it. Comes the serve. This one finds Child. Shinzing tries to quick flip it over. It eventually spins over. And now here comes Tang Tay across the court, and a point to North Greenville. Not sure which way they were going to call that one. Shinzing serves for NGU. Here comes Pagliaro setting near side for Mandalaris, who comes flying in. And Barton is getting points. They're just not able to get it as quick as they were able to in the second set. North Greenville was able to answer every time they do. And here's Hyde. Sends it in, King straight up in the air, Shinzing sets far side for Childs. And he is blocked by Pierre Tang Tay. The Barton bench reenacting the running of the Bulls.
Yeah, they've done that at least twice tonight.
Also, Mount Olive did it last night. And now here's Ryan in the middle. He gets blocked by Leary. And Alan, what'd you say about Barton having 8 blocks earlier? I think they got 10 now.
Yep.
Barton has tied it at 11. It's Hyde to serve. King gets to it. Shinzing sets. Childs over on the far side. Blocked out of bounds by Tang Tay. So North Greenville takes a point. And this could be the final set. Potentially, Barton is going for another sweep. They are trying to finish this one out and get back on the interstate.
And North Greenville trying to keep them here for at least an hour longer.
Here comes Tang Tay right in the middle of the court in front of Dustin King. Ties it up at 12. Pagliaro to serve. To Childs, Shinzing sets. Here comes Arliss. Smacks it out of bounds. And Barton goes back up in front, 13-12. Both teams still with 2 timeouts. Coach Battenfield trying to save those till later, hoping he won't have to use them at all. And Barton just trying to ride things out as Vailu'u slams it across the court into the near sideline. And North Greenville ties it up at 13. Vailu'u floats it in. Here comes the set by Pagliaro, far side, and blocked in bounds as Mandalaris Another point for the freshman from Greece. It's 14-13. Barton back up by 1. You got to win a set by 2. So let's see if Barton can get a little bit of breathing room with Tang Tay on the serve. Childs to Shinzing. Here comes Arliss near side. And North Greenville's going to take that point. In between the defenders, Alaminda. I believe it was Leary trying to get over there as well. Now Ryan on the serve to Tang Tay. Pagliara sets, and easy point for Nick Leary. Doing that all night, and Barton goes back up by 1. Now once again, can they try and get back by 2? Leary serves. Child straight up. Here comes Shinzing into the backcourt to set. Arliss gets the point. And NGU is able to answer. We're tied back at 15. The way this set's going, this one might come down to the wire and might be decided around the 22nd or 23rd point. Barton absolutely ran away with the second set. North Greenville not letting that happen so far. Here's Arliss on the serve. Tang Tay gets it. Pagliara sets, far side Brockovich. Arliss got to it, but it sails all the way to the other side of the court, and Barton gets the point. Even when you block him, it still has enough steam on the ball to go away from everyone else. Mandalera serves. Arliss bounced it off the rafter. And suddenly the rafters and haze have turned Barton blue.
Yeah, I was about to say, even the rafters are starting to go against the Crusaders. They're starting to think it's just not their night.
17-15. North Greenville takes their first time out. Barton up by 2. That's what you got to win a set by. Now can they sweep North Greenville out of their own gym? We'll step away for a short break and bring you back for what could be the last set in this matchup. North Greenville trying to extend it here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Hayes Gymnasium on the campus of North Greenville University. Barton trying to complete the sweep. Take 3 sets from North Greenville. They're up 17-15. Also in a different side of sports, in the world of motorsports, if you're into that, the Rolex 24 at Daytona going on. The marathon endurance race. As we're back underway, Mandalera serves to start things off after the timeout, and Childs able to get the lead down to 1 for NGU. Now McManaway serves for NGU, sends it in. Alaminda now far side. Here comes Brockovich. Hate to keep making the same point over and over again, but that is just pretty much what he's been doing all night. North Greenville has had absolutely no answer for him, and even when they have managed to even block him or get a hand on the ball, it goes way out of play and they're unable to respond to it. So here's Brockovich on the serve. Even his serves are, and this one's gonna sail over the net and out of bounds again. So keep feeding the freshman. Brockovich trying to finish things out. 19-16. See if he can do it again. Here's Brockovich. Bounces it back off the net. No good on the service error. North Greenville gets the serve back. They'll give it to Alexander Shinzing to send in. Tangte, Pagliara, they go back to Tangte and bounce it off Dustin King for a point. Barton 5 away at 2017. Now here's Brandon Lee back on. Listed as a libero, sophomore out of Long Beach Island, New Jersey, serves it into the net. And Barton has given North Greenville 2 free points. It's now 2018. Childs ready for the serve. Sets it in, and Bailu'u able to respond for the Crusaders, and that's 2019. Here comes a serve from Childs. The set from Pagliara, and Tangte gets it to drop. That'll make it 21-19. Barton with 2 timeouts. North Greenville only has 1 more. We'll have to wait and see when Coach Bentonfield elects to use it. Aaron Campbell comes in for Connor Ryan on this latest substitution as we wait for Federico Pagliara to serve for the Bulldogs. To Arliss, Shinzing set. Here comes Arliss, and he's blocked back. But Childs in the backcourt makes the save. Now Campbell gets stuffed. And North Greenville's unable to respond as Campbell couldn't get it past Leary. And it is now 22-19, and there's the second timeout from Coach Battenfield. So the last chance to try and stop the momentum. Barton 3 away from the sweep. It's 22-19. We get ready to step away for another short break. North Greenville running out of time here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Be an interesting one, very late in set number 3. North Greenville down 3. Barton 3 away from a set 3 victory. 22-19. Here's a serve by the Bulldogs and inbounds for an ace from Federico Pagliara. 23-19. Pagliara again. Serves it cross court. Childs is ready for it. Here's the set, and Bailu'u gets stuffed, but the shot sails out of bounds from Brockovich, who got a hand on it, just a little too much steam on it. North Greenville hangs around 23-20.
And as much as this match has gone Barton's way, I'm a little surprised that one didn't end up in.
Yeah. Now here comes Pagliara. Can't set it back for Leary, but they're able to get it over. Leary blocks McMahon away. Shinzing sets it to Ryan, far side up off the block in the backcourt. Brockovich is ready for it. Now here comes Mendeleris, who gets it to drop past Shinzing. Match point, 24-20 for the Barton Bulldogs, who look to walk out of Hayes with the victory. They have 3 points to use as breathing room. Here's Tang Tay on the serve, sends it in. Childs pops it back. King goes to get it. Childs sends it over. Diving save by Brockovich. Leary taps it over. Childs sets it. Here goes Ryan. Pagliara, and a point to North Greenville as a carry called against the Bulldogs. 24-21.
Well, there's a start. Got to get 3 more just to tie it, but as we saw in the Pfeiffer game, happened against the Crusaders, it is possible.
Match point again, 24-21. Ryan back to serve. Sends it in. Alamenda, now far side, Brockovich, and
there it is.
Yep. That's pretty much how this game is gone.
Yeah, and this game was not given to Barton. They just flat out earned it. I mean, those blocks, some aces, just a great match by Barton. That was impressive. And North Greenville was just flat out dominated today.
And if you had to give an MVP award of the game, I think you'd have to give it to the freshman from Serbia, Elska Brockovich, for the Bulldogs. He did just about everything for Barton tonight. Nick Leary with some strong blocks, and Barton as a team, unofficially, we count at least 10 blocks. As last time check, still frozen, but 10 blocks unofficially for the Bulldogs. Probably a few more than that.
I think so.
And North Greenville will head back to the locker rooms, taking this loss with them, and they'll drop to 3-2 on the season. Meanwhile, Barton improves to 3-2, and they finally get that early season monkey off their back. They take their first conference win away from Hayes, 1-2. North Greenville will be 2-2 in the conference, and now 5 games into the season. So Barton takes the sweep. That's back-to-back sweeps for the Bulldogs, sweeping Coker and North Greenville. And that will also do it for the month of January 2016 for our broadcast. Now we look to a very interesting month.
Oh yeah.
In February. We'll kick it off here at Hayes on February the 3rd. Basketball doubleheader against on the women's side, the perennial powerhouse reigning conference champion. Basically anything good, they are Limestone College Saints.
Yeah, the women's team currently ranked 5th in the nation in Division II women's basketball.
North Greenville will have the very daunting task of upending the Saints. That game will start at 5:30 on the 3rd. And then the men's team will also take the court against Limestone. The men's game starts right about half an hour after the women's game is. Unofficial start time for that game at 7:30, also on the 3rd. Then we have a softball doubleheader against Francis Marion at 2, and a baseball game against Lander as the first home game of the season for Coach Powell's defending conference champion squad.
And that game will be broadcasted. That'll be our first baseball broadcast of the season. It should be interesting. Yours truly is going to be the dugout reporter, which is a new thing for us. So it should be interesting. From what I've seen, being around Coach Powell, he's an entertaining guy, and we're definitely planning on interviewing him each game. Maybe get an interview with Scott Wingo and John Houlangus and among others.
He's a big deal.
Yeah, so that it should be fun. Baseball should be fun this season. And by the way, they're good team. So.
Well, I mentioned last night during the Mount Olive game is that team got a lot of transfers from other schools, and Alan, you mentioned that they needed some pitching help after having most of their pitchers graduating, including their closer, Adam Bogosian.
Yeah, a couple of draft picks worth of pitchers. Ryan Frankoff, who started a lot of games for North Greenville, was drafted, and Adam Bogosian was drafted as well. So congratulations to them.
And also, how about Alan State? Great hitter for North Greenville. He, last time checked, is with the AA affiliate for the St. Louis Cardinals in Johnson City, Tennessee. So we might be seeing here in a few years, we might be seeing State playing in St. Louis.
Maybe. As long as that team doesn't move either.
Oh boy.
Cardinals have a good ball.
Yeah, I don't think the Cardinals are going anywhere.
No, I don't think so. But then the next men's volleyball broadcast, at least here, and something just fell, February 9th, will be against Lisa Gray College, which will be at 7 o'clock p.m. So I hope to see you then.
So that'll do it for this broadcast of North Greenville University men's volleyball as they fall to Barton College in straight sets. So we hope to see you in the month of February in a couple of days on the 3rd as we call basketball doubleheader against Limestone. And then our first baseball broadcast, we're all excited for that. Hope you can tune in and watch us here on Ustream if you can't make it to Ashmore Field for that ball game. So thank you for watching and listening. Hope to see you here in a couple of days as we get ready to broadcast more Crusader athletic events here on the North Greenville Sports Network.